Good afternoon. We're going to do the watch list for the upcoming week, February 10th. Before I get into that, last week was actually kind of one of my worst weeks I've had in a while, but I still finished with a 76.9 win rate. So to me, for that being a bad week for me, that was still a really good win rate that most people can't even get normally on their best weeks. So, but like I said, that was one of my worst weeks I've had in a while. So, anyways, getting back to the watch list, most of the week is probably going to be driven by global events with coronavirus and stuff like that. And I'm sure the Fed will step in if anything gets really crazy out of control. But I'll go over my list that I have. I'll start with the bearish side first, even though I have TSN up. But on the bearish side, I'll look for, if the market is weak, I'm going to look at these ones to go short on. So Home Depot, you get the 30-minute on the left, the hour on the right, and the daily on the right. And well, we get a double top right here. And if the market's weak, I would think that we're going to see a pullback on Home Depot, and then we see like a divergence right here with the RSI, the histogram, and the stochastic. So that would be one of the first ones I'll look at. And if I would look for going short under the 236.50 area for possible down here retest the 232. And if it continues to get weak, I would probably to the 230 area if it's really bad. That's one of the things I'll be looking for from the market is red. And the other one I'll be looking for is knock, which is defense. It's right in this little area right here. It could be getting ready to do another leg down. So, underneath the 259 area, 259.50 area, I think that would probably go look short on knock and probably have it go down to the 250 to 245 area, 350, 345, excuse me, on knock. Another one would be John Deere. I mean, it is up above the middle Keltner channel on the daily, but if there's weakness in the market, this little, I guess you could say the last few days was a short squeeze, I guess, if you want to call it that. So if that is the case, then we should see more downside on Deere. So I would look for Deere, underneath 166.50 to fill this gap and even retest this 161 area for support, maybe even down to the 158 on John Deere. So I think the last few days has just been a short squeeze. And the other one is Disney. Even though I know Disney is like on the hourly, you have like a little symmetrical triangle right here. I hate trading them because it's literally a coin flip. You don't know which way it's going to go until it happens. But if I had to guess, there's more downward pressure lately. It's more turning symmetrical, descending right here. If you want to count this little support right here, it's more descending than symmetrical. It looks symmetrical from a longer perspective, but if you narrow down the range, I mean, it even could be a head and shoulders right here. So that's what makes me think that Disney's going to be bearish for next week if the market's weak. And last one is Nvidia. Nvidia has been popping. It's just into the 254 range. It has its struggles up here, and you can see like a head and shoulders right here. We'll see if it plays out. So I'll be looking for Nvidia underneath 250 to come down here and fill the gap to 240 area. And there is a divergence going on. Well, let's see. Yeah, see right here we get a where did I see that? Oh, the RSI right here. Let's see the divergence right here. For some reason I was looking on the histogram for some reason. Anyways, Nvidia, I'll be looking for Nvidia underneath the 250 to the 240 area for a gap fill. And for the bullish side, if the week does end up being pretty good and the market's strong, which it can be at any moment, I would be a bit surprised if we see Tyson Foods turn around and fill the gap right here from back in October 25th. So I think that I would watch Tyson do a gap fill, not a gap fill, a bounce from that gap fill. right here, you know, it's got pretty good size support right here on the weekly. So if it can get up, I think that it can get into the 86 range. If it can break the if it can break this 81.50, go for a gap fill on the way up. Even though we filled this one, I think we're going to fill that one next if the market's strong. So watch TSN. We have oil tickers. One of them is going to be PSX, and the other one's going to be Hess. So I mean, you get. Let's look at see. PSX, when it gets down into its 90 range, below 90, it pops substantially. So I would watch for oil. If oil does start to get strong, that is one of the first ones I'd look at. And Hess is, you know, the same way. It likes to bounce in this area at 55, but I would probably choose PSX over Hess. UPS is one to watch for a reversal. Let me see. Get to the daily. I think it was just a short squeeze. I wouldn't be even surprised if it gets down to this maybe even 100. If it gets down to 100, I'd probably end up buying it. And we get a divergent. No, where is it? Where did I see it? I can't remember where I saw it. Oh well. But yeah, right down here, you can see on the weekly, it bounces right here at the 101, 102 area. So I would watch UPS, especially if it does get under 100. And I know I have an alert down here set up 95. I don't think it's going to get to 95. I think that if it continues to go down, it's going to go to 100. Now, it's a nice big psychological number, and that's when I would jump in. TGT is one I'd be watching for a reversal. Now, what I like about this is that it gets over this 116.50 range, it's going to probably pop. I mean, you get like a little inverted head and shoulders right here. Very, very small. So I would watch for a target to break out and go for a gap fill. So I do like Target. McDonald's is coming up, and you get McDonald's, you know, just on the daily, come back and tap this middle kilt on the daily. But what happens is that it likes to come back down and touch and recover and bounce off it. So that's what I would be expecting for to happen. See, as you can see here, when it's going down, it touches it and rejects, touch, rejects. But when it's on the other side of it, it comes down, bounces. So I'm going to anticipate a bounce, and it's considered oversold on the 1 hour. So, and it's starting to diverge right here on the histogram. So I would like it over 212 for possibly a 214, maybe even 216 on McDonald's. So that's what I'd be watching for McDonald's. And see, Facebook's about ready to break out right here. I mean, if Facebook gets over this 213 area, I think you're going to see it bounce strong and probably into the 217 if the market's strong. So I know a gap drop. The gap fill was from 220 to 223 down to here, but I don't know if it's got enough momentum to get up there to fill a gap. But I definitely think if the market's good, it can get into the 215 to even the 217 area for momentum. So that's what I'd be watching for on Facebook. I think it will break out if the market is strong. MMM, I know that's been going downhill a lot, and like I said, it was a short squeeze. That I would be looking for it down here under the into the 155. If it does continue to drop, I think it's got potential right here. So I would watch it at around 155 if it drops. But if it doesn't drop and the market's good and it does go strong, I would look over for 160 for a run to the 165s to even to the 170 area, and maybe even get into the gap resistance at 172. So, but that seems like a pretty strong move for M&M. But you know, it does have when it does do reversal, it does have some strong moves. So I mean, if it gets any momentum and clears this 165, I think it will definitely get into this gap resistance. So on that. So another one I'm looking at, Hasbro. It's just under 100. I think that if it gets over 100, it's going to pop. Another big psychological number. But it could go down more, so I'm not too happy about it. I'm not going to go to keep too much of a close eye on it. I'll just, if it starts to get momentum, I might jump in. But it could still go down to 94 or so. So I would be cautious of this one. But I think that if it can get over 100, that you can even put an alert there. It gets over 100, I think it'll end up popping and get to the at least 105 area to retest this. So, and as you can see right on the daily, it's bounced right off the lower Keltner and the trend line I have here, which is the linear trend line. The last one is going to be CAT. And a lot of these have the same kind of look. They have big sell-off, short squeeze. So, I would look for CAT if it gets over 136. I mean, you could even get over 135. Go for it over 135 to the 138, and then go for a gap below 140. But it's possible that it could continue going down if the market's weak. And if the market is weak, I mean, it's got room down to the 120s. Let's bring this down to the 120. Good enough. So just remember that there could be potentially more downside for CAT if the market's weak. But if it does happen to rebound this week, the market doesn't seem to care about anything, and it's immune to just about everything that comes out and likes to rally on this everything. That CAT could get over 135. It could definitely make a run to 140. So that's gonna do it for the. Oh no, I got one more. Costco. Costco, I think could break out. I mean, retail is strong. If Target's strong, Costco is going to probably be strong too. So, if it gets over this 314, I mean, I think let's see, is that going to be all-time high? Yeah, that's going to be an all-time high. And see, it likes to reject and make bigger runs for that. So it could reject the first time it gets to all-time highs, but it could break out substantially too. So if retail is strong, so watch Costco over 314 for an all-time high test. It gets over that, it's in unknown territory. Who knows how far it could go to 320 in a heartbeat. So I'll definitely watch Costco. And Roku's got earnings this week, so I will not be trading Roku until Friday because earning is Thursday after hours, and I'll trade on Friday's reaction. So Roku's premium is going to be too outrageous for me, so I'm not touching it. So I'll just take a quick look at SPY. Yeah, SPY. But that's going to do it for the watch list for this week. Thanks.